Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Willie, and this is the encouraging word for today. We all need encouragement every day, but especially in seasons or times of suffering. Now, I read a very powerful statement once, many years ago, that has always stuck with me. Here it is. The most beautiful rose grows at the end of a stem of thorns. And there are also flowers, orchids, I believe, that bloom at midnight. And they have a sweet, sweet fragrance. They bloom once per year at midnight, and a beautiful fragrance. My question for you and for myself today is, do you bloom in the night seasons of life? What is your song in those inevitable times of suffering in our lives? You know, I've read the Bible from front to back many, many times, and I never have found a promise that our lives will be free from trouble or free from suffering. I've searched for it. I would love to find the formula to make my life trouble-free, but it does not exist in the Bible. In fact, instead, the Bible says in this life you will have trouble. It tells us to expect persecution if we follow Jesus. Expect opposition if we follow Jesus. Expect to suffer for Christ and his church if you follow him with your whole heart. So I asked myself, how do I respond to those inevitable times or seasons, the midnight seasons of life? Do I give up? Do I complain? Sometimes I do. Do I smile a fake smile and pretend everything is okay when inside I'm bitter and upset? How we respond in these difficult times is the difference between having a powerful testimony and having a testimony that will turn people off to the gospel of Jesus Christ. Our most powerful song that we can sing comes during the midnight hour. Our testimony is revealed either as superficial or as deep and lasting, even through the trials of life, the times of suffering. How we suffer matters to God and to those around us. We're looking at Paul's story, and it is a journey and a story. He's turned his life around. He was persecuting Christians. Now he is serving Christ. He now has a team. He's in the continent of Europe. God has opened amazing doors. Lydia has been saved. He's preaching, going out each day. And then it happens. Persecution. He is beaten, as you remember yesterday's video, beaten with rods, stripped, naked, stoned, then arrested, and he's put in the inner cell, no windows, legs in irons, so he can't even move, probably bleeding, in all kinds of pain, him and his companion Silas, and they're there with not seeing anybody, no food. Horrible, horrible situation. That's where Paul is when we left off. Listen to Acts 16, verse 25. About midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the other prisoners were listening to them. Wow. About midnight. This is the midnight hour, not only in terms of the time, but this is a midnight hour of suffering for Paul and Silas. And we all will be in those hours. And what do? What was Paul doing and Silas? They were praying. Many times we will pray in those midnight hours, but sometimes we will just complain and forget about praying. We don't want to pray. But Paul and Silas in that prison, bleeding and beaten and painful bruises, maybe a broken bone or two, because they were beaten with rods, were praying. We're praying to God. I can understand the praying part, but it's praying and singing hymns to God, hymns of praise to God in the prison with their legs in chains after being beaten, singing hymns to God. Their hearts were still full of joy. They were in pain, yes, not denying their pain. They were in suffering, yes, not denying their suffering, but there was something deeper than all those things, and it was a joy that the Lord gave them, and no one could take it away, no amount of affliction. And so they were singing hymns to God, probably because they had accounted worthy to suffer for Christ. So they were singing hymns to God. And what was happening? And the other prisoners were listening to them. That's the key in this verse. The other prisoners were listening to them. This was impacting other people. Listen, your greatest testimony to others is how you respond to adversity and suffering. When you respond with real faith, real joy, not a fake joy, a real deep joy, acknowledging the pain, but having a deeper joy. When you respond with that kind of faith, that is powerful and impacts people and attracts people to Jesus. Your most powerful song is going to be in the midnight hour. God bless you, and may you and I sing that song when the midnight hour comes. God bless.